Over the last few weeks, you probably have asked yourself the same question. What is Euro 2024 and what's up with people playing football with their actual feet? Well, this is called soccer. Although there's been some objections to this definition lately.
It's football, not soccer.
But since this is kinda how the sport was called in the first place, and just to piss off the remaining former colonists on YouTube, I will keep referring to it as European soccer throughout this video. And today, I will explain what Euro is all about and how it's super simple and straightforward, kinda. Starting with the basics. European soccer is a game I like to call classic balls and poles. Two competing teams are trying to push this leather orb 27 to 28 inches in diameter and 15 ounces weight between the poles 8 feet high and 20 feet apart. The team that scores a goal between the goal gets a goal, while both teams share the same goal, to score more goals. European soccer is a game of balls, poles, and goals, I think. But there is a catch, kinda. You can only score goals with your legs, and head, and shoulders, and chest, and sometimes your hands. Except when you score a goal from a position that is closer to the poles than the last defender at the time when the ball is passed to you. European soccer is played on a 115-yard long pitch that can sometimes be 120 yards and sometimes 110 yards long. The game lasts for 90 minutes and consists of two halves, 45 minutes long each. That is if one of the teams score more goals. Otherwise, well, I'll get to that later. There are two teams of 26 players, while only 11 are allowed to play the game. So, are the rest just chilling the vibes, enjoying the show, you may ask? Well, there are 5 substitutes allowed, but it used to be 4. And before 4, it used to be 3. And before that, it used to only be 1. So yeah, the game of balls, poles, goals, and math, I guess. Out of 53 countries in Europe, only 24 will participate in Euro. But first they have to play the qualifiers, after which the best 23 teams move forward. Don't worry about the math. It all makes sense as there's always one hosting country, and that country automatically qualifies for the cup, except for those 3 times when the 2 countries hosted the cup, and that time when it was 11. But when the team gets through to an actual competition, it's pretty straightforward from there. The team that wins the game receives 3 points. If the team draws, it also receives a point. And the team that loses gets nothing. I'm just kidding. Gets nothing. Unless you are a loser semi-finalist, then you get a bronze medal. If by any chance this bored you, you're not alone. When the players get bored with how boring the game can be, let's be honest here, they can entertain themselves with a tackle or 2, or a punch, or a chest kick, or a classic headbutt. Although, not without punishment. Referee gives out yellow cards and red cards. Yellow for minor tackles, that is the European soccer equivalent of shooting in the leg first, as in 2 in the head the next time. And for the repeated game offenders and some serious tackles, a player receives a red card and is sent off for the rest of the game. Although, before 1970, there were no cards at all, so everyone relied on weak communication from a referee.
You can't tackle like this, Bob! Leave the pitch!
What?
It's a bad tackle, Bob! Leave the pitch immediately!
I cannot hear you, man!
Your tackle is dirty, and your mom's a whore!
Man, what the f***? Dude, my tackle was clean! So naturally, such differences in opinions results in... To solve these wacky issues, the wise European soccer heads had to come up with something revolutionary. So crazy, the world kind of went mute. In 2020, Euro Cup introduced never heard before system of instant replays for deceived moments like tackles, offsides, and even balls crossing the goal line? Oh, well, what's that? NFL has had instant replays since 1986. Oh well, at least they come up with something goofy for the name, right? VAR helped the tournament to get even less goals, more draws, and made it much more fun to watch. Which begs the question, can you actually win this thing? Of course you can. And it's as straightforward as David Beckham's trusty pair. Unless the game ties, then you gear up for 2 extra halves for 15 minutes each. Because we haven't had enough football yet, apparently. And if that didn't work, there comes the nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat popcorn-worthy penalty shootout. Fun times. Unless you're in 1968, that is. Then the team's fate is in the hands of a coin toss? Yes, a coin toss. Great. The same method with which I decide whether to reach for the remote control or not advanced Italy into the finals of the Cup in 1968. It cannot be anything more fun than a coin toss, right? Oh, they tried. So, after coin tossing their way into finals, Italy faced Yugoslavia. And if you didn't know what Yugoslavia was, imagine a music band in which each member wants to form their own band, but the lead singer kinda says it can only be a band together and locks everyone inside his garage, and then a bunch of countries decide to help tense the situation by bombing the shit out of said garage. In the finals, Italy drew Yugoslavia 1-1. And the European heads once again headed into a creative challenge. I totally called tails like last time. Italy, chill. I've got a better idea. A better idea than a coin toss? What about a rematch? King rematch? So yeah, they kinda actually replayed the finals, cause who gives a fuck? It's the European soccer. The game of balls, poles, goals, math, and ever-changing rules, although one thing is unchanged.